Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. Daps.
I'm Katie.
And we are excited that you're here tonight because it is a great night to be a geek, especially a Disney geek. How was that? Anyway, before we get into everything, make sure that if you have a Disney trip on the future or on the horizon, I guess I should say.
Horizons?
Yes, very good choice. Head on over to Mouseways Travel. Go to mousewaystravel.com where Matthew will take care of you and make sure you get the best Disney experience and spend the least. He will save you money while also help you experience the magic. So make sure to head over to Mouseways Travel. Mouseways Travel at mouseways.com/dapsmagic for your next Disney adventure and get taken care of by Matthew and his team. We are excited that you guys are here tonight. It has been a very busy week. Usually as we're putting together the show, there's this, we have general ideas of what we're going to talk about.
General ideas?
General. But usually it's kind of like we want 5 or whatever, and it's hard to pick the 5 because it's like, I don't know, is this a big enough story?
5
is this
is
not
the magic number of
it
Geeks Corner.
is the magic number. And this week it was like, I don't know if I can narrow it down enough. So we have more than 5, but that's okay. But we're glad you're watching. And let's start off with the news of the day. And that is that Disneyland, Orange County, has moved into the yellow tier.
Just Disneyland.
Only Disneyland.
Disneyland is its own operating
Nowhere
county
else.
now.
So what does this mean for things, Katie?
This means that, most importantly, Disneyland can open up at a higher capacity.
Which it is doing, apparently.
35%?
I think that's correct.
So mysteriously, this announcement came. And also, if you were to head to the Disneyland website right after this announcement, all these days that were sold out of reservations suddenly had them. Oof. Wow, where did that come from?
It was amazing.
Increased capacity, kids. That's where it came from.
It is. It's a very interesting. What do you think about the more capacity and moving into yellow tier?
Really? Okay. I'm really happy that we're moving into yellow tier because that means that things are going in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yay! Yay! COVID is going away as much as it can. I've just also really liked Disneyland at a modified capacity.
I know.
It's been really enjoyable to just walk around and walk on to attractions if I feel like it.
Yep.
But as a Disney fan, I'm also glad that more people are going to get the chance to experience the parks.
Well, and I hope it moves things forward to whatever the whole normal is going to be moving
100%.
forward. And I think it's better for this to happen now than suddenly like June 15th, poof, that.
100%.
I think this is a better way to go. I'm not sure exactly what the new capacity is, and I actually don't think Disney has officially released it.
Disney has never officially said anything.
But we do know that there were a ton more reservations that came up this afternoon. And you could basically, when they first were released, you could pick any day from now through July 17th.
Yes.
And when I looked just before the show, an hour or so before, I guess, most of the Disneyland in May were gone. There was still some DCA was doing pretty well. And then a few Disneyland in June were gone. But there's still a lot of availability. And I actually think this is where it gets really interesting. Because now we see as more availability is opened up, and it'll get really interesting when it opens to out of state, which it is not yet. But the interesting thing will be to see how many reservations disappear when it's at whatever the new capacity level is that's big, and everybody that wants to can come. Because then you start seeing supply and demand work.
Yeah,
and it's not a regulated thing, and that'll be an interesting. I'm just very curious to see how that plays out.
Definitely.
I'm curious what you guys think too. Is there going to be a point later on this summer or this fall where suddenly it's like, oh, I can go basically anytime I want because they just aren't filling tier days?
I think we may reach that point before whatever the new program is, which we will get to later in the show.
Tease. With this all seemed to come at once because today also online reservations opened for dining locations, many dining locations. I'm just going to say we are seeing expanded hours a little bit as of last weekend because they're now open till 9 as of Friday. We also saw a streamlined ticketing and reservation system, which I used this morning at 6 whatever in the morning, and it worked wonderfully.
Thanks, Mr. Daps.
You're welcome. And
my hero.
But no, it worked. I thought it worked smoothly, wonderfully. If anybody else has used it, we'd love to hear how it worked out for you as well. There are different ways to get tickets still. And if you do want to get them through AAA or some other vendor, you can totally still do that. You can still get your reservations on Disneyland.com. But this way, you literally just click on the date and pick the park that you wanted to start with for a park hopper and purchase it. It was super easy.
Get the actual ticket purchasing because the date we wanted wasn't available. But the process on my end that I was able to go through was delightful.
Yeah.
And it also saves a lot of headache of waiting in lines, like 2 different lines and what have you.
No,
I think it makes a lot of sense.
I think it's a great program, and it will be very interesting to see as time goes by. Specifically, I see 14th through 17th clockies watching, and Bailey's looking at the end of the month. But it'll be very interesting to see how the 15th, 16th, 17th, and moving forward plays out when things conceivably reopen and the economy is whatever open means.
Definitely.
I'm curious. Walt Disney World, on the other hand, has had a different experience than us, a little bit different. They're quite far ahead of us. Well, they are, because they opened in July and we did not.
I wouldn't say Florida is far ahead of us.
Well, I don't think you can even compare Florida to, like, I don't think it's fair to compare Florida and California and include Walt Disney World and Disneyland.
No, I agree.
Because Orange County is a completely different experience than the rest of Florida.
Oh, I thought you were about to say Orange County is a different experience than Orange
both
County.
Both. But yes.
They're both in Orange County. No, I just thought that you were trying to say that they were ahead of us COVID-wise. This is your reminder, your friendly PSA. If you're eligible, get your vaccination, wash your hands, wear your mask.
The Muppets said so. You should do it.
The Muppets said so. Please don't throw away your shot.
No other reason than that, right?
Honestly, I was already vaccinated, but then the Muppets told me to get vaccinated. Now I want to go get vaccinated again.
Yeah, I got signed up again, and then they're like, nope, can't do that.
I said, hey, I already got Moderna. Can I get Pfizer now?
How about J&J? Can I just work my way through the list?
Yeah, can I get all of them? Does that give me a superpower?
Wouldn't that be a bummer if you, like, I would feel bad for the person that had to listen to someone come up like, hey, I already got this one. Can I have this one now? Like
they're picking ice cream flavors?
Yeah, that.
Can I sample the Pfizer?
I just imagine them deadpan. No.
Do you guys got any data AstraZeneca back there? Okay. I'll see myself out.
Okay. I feel like that's what it would be. They would just stare.
Yeah.
Anyway, Walt Disney World has loosened its face covering mandate, which means that if you're outdoors and physically distant, you don't have to wear a face mask anymore. And our very own Murray experienced that over the weekend and seemed to enjoy it. And I can understand it. It's hard to wear a face mask in Florida in the sun. It's doable though. I've done it. And but it seemed like it went fairly smoothly. I think the challenge to me is I think it would be nice to have a little bit of a lead time just for the families that are already there.
Not only for the families that are already there, because as we were just talking about for eligibility, 12 and over is now eligible. But if you have a child that's 11 or younger, you have an unvaccinated child.
Yep.
And the rule is technically honor system. If you're vaccinated, you can be maskless. That's an option for you if you choose to take it.
Yep.
But obviously we don't live in a perfect society. Some people aren't going to be honest about their vaccination status. They're just going to take their mask off, which, you know what? Fine. We can't control you. This is fine. I would just be frustrated as a parent if I had young children, not knowing other people's vaccination status. That would make me very nervous. My personal thing that made me a little nervous on the lead time is that they announced this at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and didn't communicate it to cast members. Like,
we don't know that for sure though.
That's true.
Like, and I think you have to be careful with that because there's generally, I am sure there were ways it was communicated. And I think on the flip side of that, there's always a, I didn't see it, so therefore it wasn't communicated risk.
That's fair.
And so I don't feel comfortable saying they didn't communicate it to cast members. And I would not be surprised at all if at some level of management there was a knowledge of, hey, this is imminent. And
well, I also just think that the CDC, like, there's no way, and I'm not saying that this is a fault of Disney World or Universal Orlando, because they both changed their policies. It was truly the CDC announced it Friday.
Within hours.
And then within hours, boom, boom, boom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but no, it's a planning thing for the families involved. And
yeah, and I think that's the big miss, because I think it's one of those things where it'd be nice to have, or people that are just trying to not be in that realm, but it's a challenge, and it'll continue to be a challenge until this thing is completely gone, whatever that looks like. And,
definitely.
But it's also one of those things that I think the huge lesson of the last year is show your fellow mankind, humankind, grace, kindness, and that's the way you have to approach it, as opposed to the attack, which just really doesn't fix anything.
Definitely.
And we've seen both of that, and it's great to see the kindness and the grace that has come out of this, and the good people. What is it? Look for the helpers. Is that what the Mr. Rogers thing was? But it'll be interesting to see how, as things continue to move this direction, hopefully, the lessening of restrictions at Disneyland, at Walt Disney World, and what that looks like. Because like Walt Disney World opened up more reservations too. And so if you want to book a trip to Florida, Houseways Travel to help you, because there's more capacity now.
Precisely.
Yes, you're like, okay, that's good. Let's move over to another fun topic.
Okay.
We'll see if it's fun. We got another hint, which I love, and I hate these, about what the future of the Legacy Passholder program is going to be. And it's interesting because it sounds like, from what Bob Chapek said at the earnings call last week, that it'll be a loyalty program, which immediately I think of gas, of Starbucks, of grocery stores. Like, I don't know if loyalty programs have the same associations for everybody. I don't know. Like, but we heard that they're reimagining it basically, and it's going to be a loyalty program, and definitely not legacy, which is ironic since that's what it's called right now.
Yeah.
But what did you think about this brief announcement and what it could possibly mean?
I'm excited for whatever's coming next. I know I see Nathan in the chat. Nathan and I share the same two brain cells. So when this announcement came out, we both literally said it's a punch card. It's a Disneyland punch card.
See, and I started thinking of Chevron gas points. I'm like, oh, so I have to spend like $500 and then I get 5.
We talked about, like, every time you go in, basically they put a punch in your card.
Which I do miss when they used to do that at more coffee shops, because there is something gratifying. Like, I have the Starbucks points on my card
he never uses,
that I never use, because I don't really see them, and I don't, like, there's no game to it. Whereas a punch card, you get to see the punches. Anyway,
that's why
keep
we go
going.
to Joe's. But
Yes.
I said, you fill out the punch card, you say, I did 10 punches, Disneyland, what do I get? And Disneyland says, you get
30% off.
a Mickey pretzel or 1 churro. Something like that. No, I will throw my money at whatever the new program is, because that's kind of how things work around here. It's true. But I hope it's a very good program. I hope it's a program I will enjoy throwing my money at.
Well, it's interesting because you listen to Ken Patrick talk about it, and he's like, we're putting together something that you get more value for what you're paying for, and it people are going to love it. But then, and it's part of it is your audience. Like, he's talking to a local audience that's watching every move he makes and listening to every word he says. Whereas Bob Chapek is talking to a bunch of shareholders and banks and all of that stuff. And so I think there's also a level of like, hey, we know, like, it's very possible that what we're going to get is the best thing we've ever had as former pass holders. And it could be equally possible that Chapek knows this and is saying, on one side, here's what Ken is saying. On the other side, I'm going to say this, which is true, to the shareholders, because they're going to like this better, knowing the income stream than what we're telling the annual pass holders, legacy pass holders, whatever they are. I'm really curious to see how it really plays out, though, because there's so many unknowns and we know nothing. Like, that's kind of the adventure of it, and that's also the I think the anxiety inducing portion of it for people who've been going for years and years and years with passes. And it'll be really interesting to see how it's rolled out, how it's received, and then what's the supply and demand of parks day by day once you have this or leading up to this, and does that pull have them do something also. Yeah. All right, let's move on, shall we? Okay. Yeah, it might be a day in the front of the line passes, or getting to watch Main Street Electric Parade with a good spot. Yeah, it could be lots of things like that. It really crazy. Could legitimately be you get to go into this gate where everybody else gets to go in the other gate. Or
I've been asking for an AP gate.
Well, you're not going to get one of those.
Well, yeah, I've been asking for because Disney World has AP gates.
Yeah, but I think this is probably the most difficult time in this whole process, because there's so little known and there's so much nostalgia and excitement about the return to the parks that everybody just like, hey, I want it back to the way it was before. And at the end of the day, that just isn't realistic. But it will be. I'm just very intrigued to see how it plays out and what we end up getting. And Shanghai has an AP gate. If all
I guess we should go to Shanghai.
I'm all for that. All right, let's talk about the big topic of the night, and that is the most
important topic.
One of our favorite topics, and that is food. Food is very important. So this week we got a look at what Avengers Campus is going to have for us to eat. And I love it. Like, I'm actually going to see if I can do this. I can't see everything that I normally can see because there's a camera in front of me.
Yeah, you're on the
but
button.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm trying to help.
It worked. So I'm going to show you this. I hope this works. And right here, you can see take a look at some of the food and the locations that we are going to get when we go to Avengers Campus in just a few short weeks. And you've got massive pretzels, really fancy looking drinks, weird shaped, I don't even know what to call that.
That's a meatball?
No, this one.
Oh, chicken?
The chicken sandwich thing. Yeah, the breakfast stuff sounds really good. There's a lot of fun drinks. There's shawarma, which I just feel like we have to eat because are you a good Avengers fan if you don't? But I'm very intrigued by the food. And I am curious, first off, Caitie, of all of the things that were on the list of things coming to Avengers Campus, what is the one thing, food or beverage, that you were most looking forward to tasting?
Buffalo chicken pretzel.
And why?
I like buffalo. Like, I like spicy. That's kind of my thing, because I'm a little spicy.
Okay.
I also really like pretzels. So a spicy buffalo chicken pretzel. Very on board with it. I don't like that it has carrots because I hate carrots. But
we'll work on that.
No, we won't. I really don't like carrots.
We'll just start watching Bugs Bunny cartoons over and over again.
There's a girl on TikTok.
That's how I learned to like
carrots. Who's allergic to carrots. And she eats small portions of carrots every day to see if she's less allergic. And every time I see one of her videos, I go, ma'am, carrots aren't worth it. They're not this good. Anyway, carrots upset me. That's beside the point. Yeah, buffalo chicken pretzel. That's my answer.
Ding. I'm looking forward to the shawarma. The chicken shawarma. I think it's New York's tastiest or something. Like, yeah. To me, that looked very it looked different enough, but not too different. Because as I was looking through this, so I have a thing, like when you're eating in public, and I think it's even been more amplified since all of this pandemic thing, because then you just want to be more clean and whatever. So you go through it and you see like these chicken sandwiches where the bun is like this big and the chicken is like 5 times larger. I'm like, how the heck do you eat that?
So thank you for pointing that out, specifically the chicken sandwich. Everyone's like, wow, the novelty of it. That's so fun. One, it's a slider bun. Like, it's not like in the size comparisons. You can see
that's
it,
fine.
Like, which is fair.
I mean, the tater dots look good.
Yeah, no, that upsets my brain. So I'm not like, guys, I promise you right now, this isn't even a joke. That makes me upset. if I tried to eat that, it would legitimately ruin
Well,
my
if
day.
they gave me a fork and a knife, I'd be okay.
No,
It just
no,
it
would
looks
still be,
to me like you're supposed to try to figure out how to do it.
like,
And honestly, it could make for a hilarious video because you're just like I want to buy it for you now and just be like, hey, you need to try this chicken.
No.
And can you make
Also,
clucking
like,
noises as you do it?
No, because if that sauce got on me, like on my hands or on my face, I would be upset.
But that's actually the part that I'm hoping there's forks and knives.
Like, I don't even know how to explain that this like legitimately upsets me. Like, you know when you're trying to eat a burger and like the patty kind of like slides out the back and then it like touches you? Yeah, I don't know if I'm making any sense. But also Clocky's comment made me legitimately laugh out loud. So
okay. What location are you most looking forward to?
Pim's.
I
feel like that's the
well, because my food is not from there.
But I'm excited to see Pim's as a whole. Especially when they talked about there's going to be glasses that fill from the bottom.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Bar. I think that's very cool. I think the whole like aesthetic of Pim's is going to be very cool. I'm looking forward to it, even if the food upsets me.
And what beverage are you most looking forward to, or do you have one?
So I'm excited about the drinks. There's one that has like lime and something in it, but it has habanero syrup, which so I like spicy.
I don't actually know what to think of that. I've never had that, so to me it just sounds like you're putting. I don't actually know what that is.
We've been over it. Like I do like spicy, but I just
like my imagination is, you buy the ones that are in the jar. When you say habanero syrup, I'm like, oh, did they just pour it out of the jar? So it's like pickle juice, but not.
We're doing picklebacks, guys. We're doing picklebacks with habanero.
I don't know.
Anyway, I don't know why all the drinks have habanero. I'm not much of a super sweet drink person. Which
what I was disappointed not to see?
But the marshmallow stout. Anyway, what were you?
I want to see what a Pim particle would do to a cup of coffee. This is a very legit.
Yeah, it is.
Like, I think you could have a really cool French espresso that's tiny with chocolate or something. Or you could have a really big one. Like, I mean, French espressos are small anyway, but I don't know. I think you could have fun with that. I just want coffee.
I'm sure there's going to be coffee.
I hope so.
That would be... I'm sure Joffrey's is...
That would be very good. Is there anything else that really jumps out at you?
There's also a candy bar, but that's because I'm 7 years old. And I said, ooh, chocolate and caramel and peanuts. Also the raspberry cheesecake thing, even though...
That one intrigues me.
So while we're on the topic of my brain being upset by things, because we've always got time for Katie's mental illness, the raspberry cheesecake mousse, right?
Yes.
Looks great. It's purple. It's cute. It's fun. The inside of it looks fluffy. The outside of it looks burnt and crispy and like something I should not be eating. That upsets me. Like, I feel like I can taste the char looking at that photo. Is that just me? Is that just me?
It might be.
Dude,
it doesn't look charred to me because it looks purple to me.
That looks charred to me.
Okay.
Like,
I'm betting it won't taste charred.
Well, I get that it won't taste charred, but my brain will just scoop out the inside of it. My hands will do that. My brain won't scoop out the inside of it. My hands will. And I will not eat. I will maybe break off a piece. But like, I don't know. Okay, I'm not. Okay, but Angela wants to eat it. Angela, do you like burnt marshmallows? Do you burn your marshmallows on purpose?
I don't like burnt marshmallows, but I would like to try this. Marshmallows. It's true.
You're like the first flaw with the burnt marshmallow.
Well, and to be honest, I pretty much just want probably like a bite, and I'll be like, okay, that was good.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
My hunch is it's going to be too sweet for me.
Yeah. I'm sure But
you know what it really looks like is, you remember the I don't even remember what it was, the lava monster in Star Trek, the original series.
Yeah,
it looks
I
like
thought
the
you
lava
were gonna
monster.
say Tafiti from Moana.
No, I was going Star Trek.
Got it.
Like
I'm also assuming most of these foods that we're gonna split.
Hope so, because I could not do all that. So it'll be interesting. We'll have a video up at some point once we have tasted these things and survived them. And hopefully, like, I don't know if it's going to be like Alice in the Wonderland, where it makes you bigger and smaller as you eat them, because that would be pretty cool too.
I think kind of weird. You might not need to watch your step in Avengers Campus.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It'll be fun. I need to roast a Starburst over a campfire.
Bailey, I need you to think about what you just said to him.
I mean, I like campfires.
Bailey, if
All right.
I have to eat a roasted Starburst, and Mike, don't say jelly bellies and gravy, please. We've been through enough here.
It was Mikey's birthday recently.
That's true.
Huh. Okay.
Anyway, we've gotten really
off track there.
Off track with marshmallows.
But that's not the only food news that came out this week. Is we
Food
also
news.
learned that the Alfresco tasting terrace, say that fast 5 times.
No.
We have the menu for that as well. And that's exclusively for Legacy pass holders only at this time, and their guests, I guess. And that opens May 20th. And are you looking at the...
There was something that I really loved the name of, and I can't remember what it was.
Okay. A lot of these things,
yelling
as
at
I
you.
was looking at them, are somewhat... I think it was the slider invasion.
I think that's what it was.
But
You're like, let me track of what you yelled at me.
yes, but a lot of these things are things we've seen before. It seemed like as I was looking at the menu.
Yeah.
Slider invasion, I think, looks like it's good. The charcuterie is good. I think that's one we've had
Like it's
before.
called Bountiful Valley. Like
Yes.
They renamed a lot of these things to be DCA 1.0.
And it's fun. Like, just from the names. Let's not go for the food. Which one do you like? Read all of the names and then say your favorite.
Condor Flatspread.
Can you do it like if you're the attraction narrator?
No, I can't. I'm not good at voices. I'm vaguely good at voices,
Okay.
but not that good. I'm also trying to read because one of us, well, actually, both of us have a glasses prescription. One of us is doing what our doctor wants us to. So Condor Flatspread, Screamin' Cauliflower Ceviche,
Mm-hmm.
Slider Invasion, Bountiful this is why I don't do it. Bountiful Valley Charcuterie,
Uh-huh.
and Mulholland Meatballs.
I mean, I feel like you have to get that one just because of the name.
I don't like meatballs.
I do. They're good.
I like tolerate them. I'm not a big fan of meatballs. No, like the charcuterie plate has existed, and they just renamed it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, that's what I yelled at you. We'll get to it. It's the last one. For signature cocktails, we have the Stinger. We've got Drop In, If You Dare. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, which seems like it would be a pain to order. We've got a Bugs Drink, which is non-alcoholic. We've got Specialty Manhattan, which is not themed.
That's
Ultra
okay.
Flight, and my personal favorite, even though I would not want this near me in a million years, Pizza Mau Mau. I don't want a Pizza Bloody Mary near me. That sounds really bad. But they named it Pizza Mau Mau.
I'm not a huge Bloody Mary fan.
I don't like Bloody Marys. I don't like tomato juice. I think it's even worse if you throw Clamato in. Like, don't get me started on Bloody Marys. But I also think a pizza themed Bloody Mary.
Mm-hmm.
No hate if you like Bloody Marys. That's cool.
I think it's weird though
Don't give
that
me
you
a-
have, what is that, 7 signature cocktails there. 5 of these, is that what I'm seeing? 5 of these are totally themed to DCA 1.0. The other 2 are just like Specialty Manhattan, Ultra Flight.
Yeah. Like I said,
I feel like you could have come
5
up with something, because I think you could have done a Tower of Terror.
well, that is drop in.
Oh, you're right. I was thinking with the
Where's Maliboomer? Make something with Malibu. Call it a Maliboomer.
okay, there you go.
Honestly, Disney, hire me. Put me on your cocktail menus.
There you go.
Um,
No, I'm thinking like, what would you call a Manhattan that's for DCA
what would you call a
1.0?
Manhattan that's for DCA. This feels like a riddle that I can't figure out the answer to.
Superstar Lamosa Roger has in the chat. That's a good one.
Yes, Roger. I live for that. Specialty Manhattan Beach.
There you
Hey!
go. Okay, now Ultraflight.
Ultraflight is...
I feel like that actually, you do have something with Soren.
Yeah.
Soren over California or whatever.
I feel really proud of myself. Superstar Limone.
Well played.
That's good.
Yeah, that's very good. Then they've also got wines from all over the place, and beers and hard seltzers and non-alcoholic beverages, and we've got all of those up on dapsandmagic.com. Yes, there are lots of, I think you're right, Bailey. But we have spoken about food too much and we've run out of time, Katie. So what should people do?
If you want to read more about the food, because that was the most exciting part of the show, and also pitch your names, you go to the article on dapsmagic.com.
Lots of names.
And type little comments right underneath.
Grizzly River Rum.
Oh,
that's really well
okay,
played.
No, seriously,
that's
keep
well played.
This going.
Put it in the comments after the show too, all of your ideas, so that people that come and watch this later see them there as well.
Yeah, so it's not just us like weirdly repeating things they can't see. Even though there is a playback. Anyway, subscribe to our mailing list so you don't miss the next batch of menus that releases.
And make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss any of the videos that we have coming up in the coming days and weeks, I should say. We've got some Walt Disney World videos coming up from Murray, who just got back. We've got some Knott's Berry Farm reopening videos that will be coming up in the next few days. And of course, all of our live streams and all that other stuff as well. And I think that is all the time we have for you this week. So we will see you around the corner.
Bye.